the old concept of asceticism that was present in Buddha's time, probably originally starting in shamanic ordeals for powers, and then people noticed, well, if I sort of torture myself, I sort of get better as a person. And then the Buddha's saying, no, it's not the fact that you're torturing yourself. It's that you, in these ceremonies, you're experiencing uncomfortable sensations with equanimity. That's purifying consciousness. But you could do just as well with pleasure. And if you look at the classic Buddhist texts with the longer discourses of the Buddha, he essentially describes going into altered blissful states and having equanimity with them. And that purifying consciousness through the process of becoming, of having equanimity with these absorptions, and then that taking you to something that is beyond bliss, beyond pleasure and pain, beyond all dualities, which is the absolute rest of nirvana. So there's an actual description of working with, a lot of descriptions actually, of working with pleasant experiences, but with an emphasis on equanimity. They purify consciousness, they deeply fulfill, and if they purify consciousness profoundly enough, the blocks to nirvana are worked through. There are what are called the dhutangas, which are, depending on how you want to count them, 12 or 13 uncomfortable practices that the monks were allowed to do but not required to do, like yasa, for example. A person could take a vow, I'm gonna sit always at night, not lay down. That is a practice, but not for one night, okay? A person could say, I'm gonna do this for the duration, or, for a week or something like that. And that's one of the dhutangas. That's the term that was for allowed uncomfortable practices. But the Buddha didn't allow uncomfortable practices that would be harmful to your body or that would wipe you out so badly that you weren't really doing practice anymore. You were just sort of, out of it. Equanimity is another of the components that constitutes mindful awareness in the way that I like to think about mindful awareness.